couple days ago, I just, in the Chinese system, turned 75. The American system, I turned 74 plus. And I haven't been to a doctor with me being sick in 68 years. I've never been on a prescription medication. And I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients twice a day.
You're 75.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Your skin is very supple.
Well,
I wasn't going to say anything, but...
Well, nobody's going to steal an airplane with me on it. Okay, I'll tell you. I can still whoop up on them. And that's because I do take the 90 essential nutrients twice a day, faithfully. Obsessively is probably a better word. I have 4 children. I have 8 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren. And they've never been sick because they've been taking the 90 essential nutrients before they were conceived. All the pregnancies are developed in from the moment they're born. And we can make America a birth defect-free country. We can make America a diabetes-free country. We can make America a heart disease-free country. We can make America an Alzheimer's disease-free country. We can make America a macular degeneration, blindness, disease-free country in months by taking the 90 essential nutrients to give your genes the cofactors they need to give you the maximum benefits for health and longevity.
Right.
Without that, it's kind of hit and miss. And so the whole system is all messed up. And so the only way to override that system is to supplement with the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And then you're guaranteed you're going to get everything you need to have perfect babies. We will not have another birth defect if everybody took the 90 essential nutrients before they conceived a child.
Right.
Every birth defect you can name, and 10 times that many you can't, Leanne, are all caused by nutritional deficiency of the embryos. There's not a single disease that a baby's born with is caused by genetics. It's all nutritional deficiencies of the embryo.
So for someone like me, a woman, I have yet to have children, and I know, obviously, just basic science, we're born with all of the eggs we're ever going to have as women. Am I able to turn back time, or have I already done the damage? Or
no, you haven't done the damage yet, because the clock starts ticking on danger for the embryo at the moment of conception. Okay? When the sperm fertilizes the egg, that's it. If you don't have all the nutrients at that point, the baby's in danger. We're talking Down syndrome. We're talking everything as simple as lactose intolerance, things like PKU, phenylketonuria, where babies get retarded from breakdown products of an amino acid, things like type 1 diabetes, cerebral palsy, cleft palate, spina bifida, muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis. In fact, I found the first non-human case, and this is me on the cover of the book, with my cystic fibrosis monkeys back in 1977 at Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia, at Emory University. And everybody agreed that's what it was. But they said, well, Wallach, you're saying it's not a genetic disease. You're saying it's caused by nutritional deficiency of the embryo. That's right. Well, they fired me. That's when I went back to school and became a physician. Because
you were going to heal everyone.
Exactly. They didn't like that part. And
pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, that's why Alex loves that book and loves the story, because it shows very clearly that to keep doing what they're doing rather than follow the truth, they're willing to kill off the truth. For instance, we know the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. We gave that information to Jerry Lewis, and Jerry, we don't want any money. We've already found the cure. Do you want to be the one to make the announcement? Jerry, you are the guy. These are Jerry's kids. You deserve to make the announcement this cure's been found. He took all that information to the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation, and they fired him 4 years ago. That's why he has not been doing the telethons.
Wow.
The Muscular Dystrophy Foundation fired Jerry Lewis after 22 years and raising billions of dollars for them. They fired him because he brought them the cure for muscular dystrophy. If I told you a secret, don't tell anybody, okay? You can reduce your risk of breast cancer by 462% by cooking your meat medium rare rather than well done, because heterocyclic amines, which occur when you burn animal fats, are worse than any chemical the Dow Chemical and Monsanto can make. And they make horrible chemicals, believe me.
Wow.
But burnt animal fat is worse than any of that to cause breast cancer.
Wow.
You eat meat cooked well done, you increase your risk of breast cancer by 462%. You eat your meat cooked medium rare, you reduce it by 462%. You supplement with selenium, you actually reduce your risk of breast cancer by 82%. This is one of my lawsuits against the FDA, which I prevailed in federal court to be able to say that without fear of retribution from the government and being put in jail and so forth. I can say you can reduce your risk of cancer by many, many different types of cancer, including prostate cancer, colon cancer. We've done many studies with Manitoba University up in Canada and Clemson University in the United States, on cell cultures in animals, and now we're moving on to people because of experiments in both cell cultures of human cells with cancer and animals. The results are so good. In some cases, we can reduce the risk of cancer. We can kill cancer cells by 95% just with nutrient combinations.
Right.
And this is unheard of. Doctors say it's impossible. Well, you have to appreciate the average doctor in America lives to be 56. That's their own study, came out in 1999. And why would anybody want to listen to a group of people whose average lifespan is 56 and how to live to be 100?
Exactly. I used to work for a doctor, and that was one of my biggest complaints, is that I knew more than he did about health and nutrition, and his first go-to was just to give someone a prescription. Eventually, he did start recommending yoga and things like that, rather than
there's
just
a lot of
giving
nutrition
people
in
pain
yoga.
pills. But yeah, absolutely.
And there's no nutrition in yoga.
Well, it does go to the parasympathetic nervous system.
Yes. Well, that's mind, body, spirit, isn't it? But everybody always forgets the body piece, the 90 essential nutrients.
Yeah.
They spend all their time doing yoga and being spiritual.
And then go get McDonald's afterwards.
And so it's very exciting when you see all the results of very expensive studies that back that up. The death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. That over the thousands of years, the halls of science are filled with failed medical theories. The cholesterol thing. Cholesterol doesn't cause disease. Cholesterol is an essential nutrient. That whole thing on cholesterol, I spent 35 years, Leanne, looking for the paper that showed that cholesterol was dangerous. I spent 35 years looking for it. Well, I finally found the paper, but what it said was there was all an advertising campaign. There was no science. There was never any science behind it. Animal fat is the best thing for you. Butter,
Right.
cream, lard.
Yeah, that's on Time Magazine now. Eat more butter. And when there was this whole, for over a decade, you know, the anti-fat movement. Now they're like, eat some butter.
Oh, a stick of butter a day keeps the doctor away. And they've killed millions and millions of people with these failed medical theories because the cancer rate's gone up, the death rate from heart disease has gone up because the medical system and the American Heart Association and Procter & Gamble, who made Crisco, which is originally a machinery oil from factories. Crisco is originally a machine oil. It was never designed originally to be a food. But they bought it and turned it into a food because they said, we can make more money selling it as a food than we could as a machine oil. They said, well, we have to come up with an ad campaign because mothers and grandmothers did not like to use Crisco because they liked lard and butter and cream. And so they went to the American Heart Association and said, look, we'll give you $1.7 million if you endorse Crisco as a healthier fat than beef fat, pork fat, lard, cream, and butter, and eggs. And they did they prostituted themselves for $1.7 million because before that they were a specialty without a disease because there was no heart disease in America until people started using oils, and then we have heart disease, which are caused by nutritional deficiencies and oils. Right. As you say, it's on the cover of Time Magazine, a big chunk of butter as saying, eat more butter is now known to be healthier than vegetable oils. Just the opposite of what doctors have been saying for 80 years. Somebody needs to go to jail here, Leanne.
And who is behind all of this? And now why the sudden push? Because they're certainly not trying to all of a sudden
be nicey nice.
Make everyone healthy and do away with the healthcare industry.
I think what's happened is, and I may be sort of bragging on myself too much, but for 35 years I've been hammering on them with the Dead Doctors Don't Lie books and things. And I imagine they went and looked and did the studies to try and refute what I was beating up on them. With the Dead Doctors Don't Lie concept. And they said, oh my gosh, Wallach's right. Well, I actually published that in 1971.